Welcome to SML Total Access, where we break down news, predictions, and more in our Madden League. Now, let's get fired up for SML football.
What is up, SML? Welcome back to SML Total Access, our first episode of Madden 26. Joined is Matt and Dan. How are you doing today?
Good. SML's back, baby.
Hey. Yep. Congratulations to the trio. We're all 3-0. Congratulations, everybody.
It's a good feeling, man. It's a great feeling. The other trio's undefeated as well. PMP, Prime, Matt, and Pauly, all unbeaten. Let's talk about the draft. Winners and losers from the draft. Obviously, mock draft time is a fun time, but now we're moving on to the mocks are gone. The real thing happened. Who won the draft and who lost the draft? Dan, what do you think? Or is it Matt? I always forget. Matt, you go.
All right.
That's
Well,
the odd one.
That's right.
Winners, I think is pretty clear. I think kind of a non-obvious winner is probably Raider fan. He's not the most tenured Raider fan, literally in the league, but he was able to achieve a position to get his Raiders. I look at someone like I think Grimm's probably the overall winner. He gets the Bills. Who have the most star dev or better players at 29. The second most is 26. So he's got a team that has an elite quarterback and a team that's set up with star devs, superstars, X factors, and or hiddens for the rest of the cycle. He also has the biggest weenie hut division of the cycle. I think it's one of only two divisions that doesn't have a Simbardi winner in it, which leads me to winner number 2, which is Pauly. Somehow he always gets these easy divisions, but he is the only other division that doesn't have a Simbardi winner. I don't even think he has anybody in his division that's made a Super Bowl. I don't think Tugger Raider fan have ever made a Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Stavo, another person who
Wait, are you sure Fig hasn't made a Super Bowl?
I'm pretty sure.
Come on,
I have not been here that long.
Okay. I mean, you didn't even bother even mention his name, so I thought I'd at least mention his name.
Easy divisions are kind of the theme. Stavo happens to get the Falcons, which I don't think the lack of a first round pick really hurts him because he's going to be picking low anyway, and he gets an easy division. Losers, Bombers, the obvious one. Meats getting the Ravens. I would assume if you could choose your order of Ravens preferred users, Meats is probably in the bottom 5. I think Straw is going to be deadly with the Bengals. I don't know enough about Smokey to say one way or another. And then Gutta is my last one, just because he took the Bears, and I don't care about the division. Good for him. Gutta's a good enough player, but the Bears are actually sneaky, not that much fun. They got some bad contracts. If he wanted a cycle quarterback, he had the Pats there. He had the Broncos there. He had the Bills there. He had the Bengals there. He had teams that he could have gone to other than the Bears.
Yeah, hey, that's a good list, Matt. I pretty much kind of summed everything up. I'll throw a few wild cards out there. Some other big winners. I think Doink's a big winner. I think Seattle's a great team for him. He likes to build teams. That's a fun young team. Nobody was really projecting them to drop as far as they did. That's great. Steven getting the Niners, I think, is a great fit for him because that's his favorite team, and he gets them in the SML. Which it kind of, again, was a little bit of the theme. Some of these guys got some of their teams that they wanted, which again should remind everybody, as much as, we talk about the picking where we pick and evals, and you should do your best to pick as high as you can, but let's not gripe too much. As long as you're not really at the very end of the pack, you're going to get a good option. You're going to get a good team. So that just played out again. Some of the losers, I think, are great with Bomber stuff. Let me throw out kind of Woods again too, not just because you would think at first, okay, he didn't get Prime, but then adding myself and KP, it's almost like a double whammy. Then instead of kind of getting beat up twice, now he might potentially get him yet 4 times. So I think Woods, although I don't think he's too upset because Woods is a competitor. I don't think it broke in the way that maybe he thought after Prime didn't go 1 with the Colts.
Yeah, it's good. For me, obviously, 2 winners. Obviously, Pauly, he got the division he wanted. He got his son's favorite team. He had shared with me before the draft that he wanted the Chiefs because it was something special to him. and he wanted to have a strong cycle this year and do things he had never done before. So for him to get the Chiefs, his son's favorite team, have his son involved in the draft, I think that's a win. Another guy that I think won is AJ. The wheel didn't land on the Giants. I know there was some concern that the wheel was going to land on the Giants and take the Giants, but it didn't land on the Giants. So he got his favorite team with Jackson Dart, Ole Miss quarterback. He's a big Ole Miss fan. And when you're picking top 4, top 5, yes, you get the pick of your team, but as you guys talked about, you don't get the pick of your division. So AJ's sitting there with his quarterback and the team he's been talking about. Oh, and then he gets Matt as the Eagles. Oh, and then he gets Mike as the Cowboys. Oh, and then he gets Tiny Titan, who sucks, as the Commanders. So you got 2 sim guys and a guy who's a total bum in Tiny Titan. So to me, I think he won that draft day there. For losers, we talk about Bomber losing the draft. And to an extent, I think he did. Again, he got the team he wanted, but then you can't pick the division. And I'm just going to say that I don't think he lost because Meats is going to be a cheese ball with the Ravens. I think we're a little bit more past Meats being 19 years old when he was first in the SML, and he doesn't really roll around as much as he used to when he was younger. But Meats is a good player with the Ravens. And Straw looked pretty sharp with the Bengals, and they're a good team. Dan talked about it earlier today. They're a great season 1 team, but Straw looks sharp. Who's the other team? I'm drawing a blank on. There's one more, isn't there? Steelers.
The Steelers.
Oh, okay.
Steelers.
Okay, so Smokey, there's not a whole lot out on him yet, but so we'll just have to see. But for me, I think Bomber, if he were to start the draft and if he was informed of what his division would be, I'd be curious if he'd be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should take another team. But regardless, it's a long cycle and there's turnover. There's things that happen and people have life changes. So we're going to see what's going to happen there. But that's probably my big loss of the cycle so far. Moving on now. Toughest conference. There's the AFC, NFC talk last year. Dan, what do you think? Balance was your goal.
Yeah, balance was my goal, man. And I feel pretty good with it right now. I guess you would have to still stay the NFC. The NFC maybe has the slight advantage since they have both you and Stavo. I think Stavo is going to be the tipping point. Which way did he go? I think you saw even week 1, Soda is in the NFC and he just put on a clinic, and I think he's going to be a force for a little while. We'll see kind of how the team development and stuff goes, but you got some older heads in the AFC, like guys like Pauly, guys like myself, KP, Woods, so some good, Grimm I think will be good. So it's not we're not talking about big gaps. If we're trying to be nitpicking, I'd go NFC, but pretty much it is as most balanced as we've probably had in a while, and I love it. I think that's going to make for some great battles in the playoffs, which again, if we're being honest, we really only saw it on one side, maybe a season or two. I know KP, Stavo had a game or two that were pretty good. Fun. So there was a game or two, but there was never really felt like the war you had to go through in the NFC. And I think it's going to have that happen this year.
Dan, real quick, top three AFC and NFC players, that you think are going to be the guys for the cycle. Obviously you're up there. Who do you think is number 2 and 3?
For the whole cycle, I'm going to go with you, Stavo, and Soda for right now. On the AFC side, I'm going to go myself. Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like I believe in KP. I believe in Pauly at times, but then they let me down. Grimm's the same way. I don't know which one's gonna. I think they're gonna rise up. I think they're gonna. Bomber's definitely gonna be there. Straw, there's just a whole group right there that could be 2 and 3, and I just don't know which one's gonna do it. It might go season to season with the next 5 or 6 guys right after that could be 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's good. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the NFC is deeper because again, I think that the weenie huts are in the AFC, those 2 divisions that don't have any Simbardi winners in them. But I think the AFC is the tougher conference because really in the NFC, obviously it really depends on what Damon does. Stavo's never proved it against competition, so it's hard for me to, he has 2 Simbardis, but in the weakest conference ever. So I need to see what he can do. Can Damon continue that trajectory? hey, he stepped his foot in the fire. Can he keep it up? In that he was in a tough division last time, but can he keep it up? I think obviously if those two continue their success, it's totally different story. But you have Dan. I don't know why I said Woods. He doesn't matter in this conversation. We have Dan, KP, who should figure it out with the Colts. If not, he should ask you, Prime. Yep. Bomber's gonna figure it out. Look, Bomber's gonna struggle early and with that team, but he's gonna figure it out. He's a good team builder. I think Straw is obviously in that Damon Stavo category. It's easy to forget that Straw was a perennial Super Bowl contender back a couple cycles ago when I had the Seahawks and he was the Rams, I believe. He can be a factor. And again, look, Pauly knows this game. Look, watch Pauly on his kickoffs. He does deep kick. He aims it to the right, kicks it about 75% of the meter, and it's right at the edge of the. It's like, who knows that stuff? How do you guys know that stuff? He knows everything. He's got the best quarterback in the game. That's not Joe Burrow. That offense is set for the entire cycle. He can get a tight end from Damon for like a 3rd round pick probably right now, and solidify that hole. So I think the NFC is deeper, but I think that the top of the AFC is stronger.
For me, I completely disagree with Matt, actually. And when I look at the AFC, I think top end, the NFC is just better. I mean, you have Prime, who won 3 Sombardis. You have Stavo, who won 2 Sombardis. Oh, and then you have Matt, who won a Sombardi. And Matt's got the Eagles. Prime's got the Lions. And then Stavo's got the Falcons, who are probably more of a cycled team more so than an early team out the gate. And then you have the next big thing in Damon, who I played today, who I thought played very well for it being early in his Men 26 career. With the Packers, who are also a good team. So when I look at that, to me, it's...
Don't forget Soda. Don't forget Soda.
Yeah, you got Soda, who made, 2 Super Bowls? I mean, that's 5 guys, in my opinion, that are elite level players. Now, life happens. And I know Damon had a career shift, and I know Stavo's got a girlfriend, and he's already a little more disconnected than he's been. If there's anybody, those 5 guys, or however many it's listed there, that's going to drop, it's going to be Stavo. I think he's in love, and love messes with people. We've seen with Tom Brady, he went through a divorce, and he sucked his last year there. So I'm just worried about Stavo. AFC side of things. So I think Dan's the clear-cut number 1 right now, just based on history. He's proven it cycle over cycle. He's got a Texans team, which is a good team. He thinks it fits them well. KP, obviously, last year he had a bit of a down cycle, but still made the Super Bowl. Lost to me. I think he's a little more focused on coming back now with an interesting Colts team. I'm curious how he's going to do with them. And then I'm really curious on how Pauly's going to perform. I really think Pauly's going to make his first ever SML Super Bowl this cycle. I truly believe that. I've scrimmaged with him, and I've scrimmaged Pauly the last 2 years, 3 years maybe, and this is the best Pauly's ever played against me in scrimmages. Like, he was beating me like on a fairly routine basis. Like, this game complements him well. We've seen him put it on Fig today. To me, it's NFC, but it's close. It's close, and that's Dan wanted balance, and I think Dan got what he wanted.
Yeah,
very happy.
Pauly's my Super Bowl pick in the AFC in MMX's little website. Obviously, Dan's a better player, but the Chiefs are so far ahead of the Texans right now. I think it's Pauly. He puts the time in the game. The Ravens are a better team, but Meats ain't doing nothing, so it's got to be Pauly.
Wow. Let's move on now. What would you do is this segment. We're going to try to make Third Down a segment where maybe it's a game strategy topic or something just, a little more of a cadence. So Dan brought this up earlier. Obviously, with touchbacks now being at the 35-yard line, that puts even more stress on a defense to perform. Let's say there's about under 10 seconds left and you have to kick it off to your opponent. It's a 1-score game. Are you going to kick it deep, or are you going to kick it short and try to make the tackle and kind of play the field position game? Matt, what would you do?
You said 5 seconds left?
Yeah, in between 5 and 10 seconds left.
Man, so I'm curious on what your guys' answers are going to be, because this could be one of those where I'm like, this answer is so obvious, and then maybe the counterpoint makes me think twice. I'm kicking this thing out of the back of the end zone. I'm kicking it as hard and as far as I can. I want to hit someone in the face in the front row. I'm not risking a fluke kickoff where I don't even have an opportunity to do anything. and I lose the game, I'm gonna take a Hail Mary. Worst thing, if I get a PI, you tie the game. But shoot, that's what, 65 yards in the air for you to score a touchdown. You can't get in field goal range in that much time. I don't think so. I watched Bomber's game against Straw, and he took a kickoff, and the whole kickoff return, or the whole kickoff team just went to the sidelines, and Bomber had the Red Sea parted. He got up to like his Straw's 30-yard line before someone even touched him. I was like, oh, here we go again. I guess I'm going to kick deep. So I'm kicking it deep every time.
Yeah, I think it's situational, and you kind of changed a little bit of it, Prime, when you said between 5 and 10, because I think that matters. I think it matters if you can get off 2 plays or not, if the other guy even has a timeout. So if he can get off 2 plays and I'm starting him at the 35 and the first one's going to be, 15 yards and then a timeout and he's got 1 second left, man, I don't know if I want to risk that. I haven't seen a whole lot of kickoff returns when you angle them. I know they look risky. I've a few times I'm like, oh crap, I'm in trouble, but then they don't go anywhere. And so you can kill, just whatever 3-4 seconds, and then that's only just a Hail Mary. And I don't mind a Hail Mary from the 35. I figure if I'm going to lose that way, that's more random luck than potentially losing on a kickoff. But it all depends on the timeouts left and exactly how many seconds, because anything I would say 6 or over, I think you can run 2 plays.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it angled every time in those situations. To me, it's going to take off at least 3 to 4 seconds by the time the ball touches the returner's hands. So you're going to lose 3 seconds right there. And on top of it, in my opinion, the 35-yard line, if a quarterback's got about a 94 arm or better, they're going to make the end zone, and the guys bump into each other. We've seen Memorial Day miracles. We've seen Hail Marys last year. There's just a lot that can go wrong there. And we see a lot of kickoffs, angled kickoffs this year, and there's not been a whole lot of touchdowns. Now, one thing I do want to note, if I am going to kick it off deep, I'm not even kicking it off deep. I'm putting that thing out of bounds to the left or to the right. I don't even want to give him a chance to return it from the back of the end zone. I'm going to give him another 5 yards and give him the ball at the 40 with 4 seconds left, and I am going to give him the ball at the 35.
Wow.
That's what I'm doing.
Wow. Have we seen any kickoff returns from the angle position? And you guys have?
I've scrimmaged quite a bit with Pauly, and none for touchdowns from the angle position.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I think someone said in chat they did. I haven't. Obviously, we haven't had Hail Mary situations, so I don't know the likelihood there. I still think the angled kick is more likely to give up the touchdown. So again, I'm in agreement. Unless there's that extra 6, 7, 8 seconds, then I'm going to think twice about it, especially if it's a player, that's got a quarterback that's got the throw power on the other side. I'm going to think about it.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't even know angled kicks were a thing until I watched Pauly's game about an hour ago.
It's good stuff's going on here. PMP is a really strong trio. A good relationship between all 3 guys. Good continuity. Let's move on. 4th down. It's time to spread the love. Dan, who are you spreading it on?
Well, first I wanted to spread a little bit of love on Matt, because I feel sorry that he got left out of this group here. It's kind of like an add-on, because he wasn't in the original announcement, he wasn't in the original graphic, and now all of a sudden it's like, all right, we better throw Matt in here. So Matt, man, I'm sorry, man. I know that must hurt a little bit. But really I want to spread my love on is CC, man. I just played him week 1, and I threw some stuff at him. I know it's week 1. I know we don't have all our stuff wrapped up yet, and there's still some new things, but I threw some wrinkles at him, and every time he seemed to counter it. And I was pretty impressed with how patient he was. I was impressed by his user. The way he played today, I think could be really good for him this first season and beyond. It's a good style. And so I asked him right away if he played NCAA, because I figured like this guy knows some things already, and he did. But I'm excited to see what CC can do.
I don't know what Dan's talking about, but I'm going to go. My first one's going to be Damon. Look, he said he was going to follow the GOAT, and he followed the GOAT. Hats off to him. A lot of guys, you know who you are, would not do that. And then a Bomber, hang in there. And then my last one, Johnny, just because he needs it.
Wow, that was good. That was good. I'm going to spread my love on KP, man. There's a lot of people in my DMs. I have 8 DMs this morning I woke up to that said KP should never have taken the Colts. He won't live up to your shadow in Lucas Oil Stadium, all those banners up there. He took the Colts. He said they're going to be a top 15 team. He took them. He lost to Colt 45. He's got some bumps and bruises. It was a shocker, in my opinion. But I'm excited to see what KP does. And 2 storylines I want. There's 3 storylines actually out of the AFC I'd love to play in Super Bowls. Dan, number 1. I'd like to play Pauly in a Super Bowl, and I'd like to play my hometown Colts in a Super Bowl. That one would be a fun one.
Good stuff.
Extra point, Matt. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, well, I guess we should probably get back in the swing of things. I think I've done top 5 everything except for players. So I figured I would just put together a little preseason top 5, which is about as meaningful as the college football top 25 preseason. But hey, I'm just going to throw what I think based on team fit and who the player, their history of that player. At number 5, I've got Stavo. Look, I know he's won 2 Simbardis, but he didn't win a single playoff game when he first got here. He had set feet lead. This is before they nerfed it. I'm not asking him to win a Simbardi in that scenario, but I would like to have seen him get a single win. So I like this Falcons team for him. Again, he's got a quarterback. He can dev Penix, and honestly, he shouldn't even know that he's lefty after a couple of games. You kind of just forget about it. So I got Stavo. I got Straw. Now, I think I ate my words a little bit last cycle because I was high on Straw. But I put out that article earlier about how I thought the Bengals were maybe it was an article, maybe it was this show about Straw and the Bengals. I think it was this show. I said if Straw gets the Bengals, he'll win a Super Bowl. He sure looks sharp today, my friends. Watch out for Straw. At number 3, I've got Pauly. Look, I think this is a fantastic fit for Pauly. The Chiefs were my number 1 team. I scrimmed Prime 1 time. That was the team I used. I used them more than I used anybody else. I just couldn't afford to go to an empty division. It bit me 2 cycles ago. I love the fit for Pauly. He looked extremely sharp today. Mahomes' set feet lead isn't back, but it seems a little bit better. Mahomes gets the ball there quick. He's got the only 99 speed receiver in the game. He's got a 92 hidden dev rookie receiver. He's got Rashee Rice. He's got Hollywood Brown. He's got Pacheco. You got a nice defensive, nice young defense. Chris Jones retires. He might want to do something about that. But I love the Chiefs. At number 2, I've got Dan. Look, history is what it is. I don't care what team Dan has. He would be at number 2. And the Texans are a damn good team. I don't know if CJ Stroud's your guy. I know you're floating him out there, but maybe he is, maybe he isn't. You seem to make a lot of quarterbacks work, but I like that team with Stingley, Anderson. You'll find a running back, Collins. I like that team. And then Prime, I got Prime at number 1. Look, the Lions sure are a lot of fun. You don't really have to do much. You've got your speedster already. You don't have to sell out. I think the biggest answer is Milton the answer, or are you going to have to maybe sell out for another quarterback? How are you going to do that with the cap? I think that'll be the interesting part, but the rest of that team's pretty much filled out for you.
That'll be good. Well, that's a good list. What do you think, Dan?
Good list, but I just think of the disrespect for Stavo to have Pauly at 3. I understand putting Pauly maybe in there because of the team, but to jump him over Stavo, man, I give Stavo a hard time, but I'm not even willing to make that jump. That is a bold statement preseason wise. That might hopefully let a little fire under Stavo there, because again, I still want to see Pauly in crunch time. I want to see him make the right critical decisions at the right times. We haven't really seen that yet. I think Pauly can scheme up and he'll do well in that, but will he make the right timeout? Will he make the right decision? Those are still question marks in my mind. Stavo's been there. He's done it. So I think that's disrespectful.
And I'm taking Stavo at his word that he hasn't played the game very much. I think Paul is like probably over 40 hours. He's angle kicking 75% to the sidelines. I think, but it's also, I think that Falcons team might take a little bit of time for Stavo to get going.
It might, but guys like Stavo, Damon, so do these younger guys. It won't take them long. I mean, it's just a matter of just muscle memory. They'll figure out the little things. The game, us older guys, we got to play it to understand it. These younger guys, they just hop on and they can play. So I think Stavo will be fine.
Stavo's going to be washed, man. I hate to say it, and I'll say it again. Stavo of last cycle is dead. He died about 70% of the way through last cycle after he beat Dan in that last Super Bowl. He wasn't the same player after that. He's got his little girlfriend now. He's logging in last second. Stavo is washed. Whatever you think of Stavo, just go back and watch old highlights of him as whoever he was last cycle, because he's not the same player. We're going to see it tonight.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on the girl. I think the girl might definitely be a factor. So you might have something there.
Yeah, I think it is, man. Who does he play tonight? Do we know? 9 p.m. Somebody? I think he's supposed to be favored in that game is all I'm saying. And if he looks rough, we'll see. Stavo's cooked. I'm not even sure if he's going to make the playoffs in the NFC.
He plays the Bucks.
Plays the Bucks.
CBD.
Ooh.
Oh, ZBD's going to win. I guarantee right now, ZBD oil is winning that ball game. All right, guys.
That's going to be a good one.
25 minutes in. We're going to sign off. By the way, appreciate you guys listening. Good start to the cycle already. SML to Total Access. Catch you next time.